mean, the Selena mid already won, so I hope the Guinevere also wins this time. But TLPH lineup very kind of similar to what Team Falcons actually put off a while earlier. The Badangatot combination again.
To be fair though, if Escalera does get to land the spatial migration onto key targets early on, he will have enough follow-up damage just by the early game Farsa from Hajizi. So they need to be really careful about their choice of targets here, since, as you may know, they probably have limited resources to sustain a prolonged fight, unlike other kinds of lineups we've seen.
We're going to have to be really, really creative here. And let's see if that's going to happen here for game number 1 of Twisted Minds versus TLPH. And quite early on, I already expect some really spicy hits here from the Guinevere. It's the only way to make sense, right? The only reason you would get it is if you use it early on and get these knockups with the Violet Requiem.
The thing is, so far, JP is making sure that Escalera is always within sight. Not now though!
There's the catch onto Oheb, but still not enough damage to bring him down.
Alright.
That's what we're talking about here. Escalera still staying here, faking that TP, faking that recall back to base, but it's going to be a 4-man, what do you call this, zone here. TLPH not really trying to do anything. Outplayed is a very crunchy target. Carl TZ knows it.
Yeah. They have enough, or there's a clear lack of information, which is why Outplayed must play it safely under the turret for now. But Escalera has been doing a great job getting ahead in terms of positioning himself in the brushes. But Team Liquid Philippines, they have a lot of resources to do the same.
Okay, here's the taunt plus Sanguine Claws. Okay, one more hit onto Escalera. Fortunately, MP the King was there to zone out the members of TLPH. Still, no kills for both teams.
Really smart move here from MP, not really triggering the electrifying beats. Essentially, he was trying to bait out some skills, which of course TLPH didn't really take the bait, so they're going to be coming out on top here with the turtle.
Yeah, so long as everyone was there, even JP still had to revitalize either way. Oh, but Haji!
Okay, forced out an early flicker from Oheb, so still again, no trade for Twisted Minds, and now they're slowly invading the jungle of Twisted Minds.
Yeah. Next 2 minutes is going to be crucial for that bottom lane. Make sure to watch where Oheb is going. I guess that's what Twisted is trying to do here. But so far, at least they are keeping it steady.
There has been so much attention on the gold lane, but just the mere fact that Oheb does have range, he can just wait for those Death Sonatas to just get the last hit onto the minion. So he isn't necessarily behind, and if any, is actually ahead by 300 up against Outplayed. So they're kind of managing this really well, despite the massive attention that's been brought towards the gold lane for multiple times in a row now by Twisted Minds.
And even if nothing's happening, especially if TLPH continues to control the center of the map like what they did a while ago, that helped zone out Escalera. That's why Twisted Minds weren't able to contest for the turtle. TLPH can just continue to balloon up. Here comes the fist crack though, because MP the King dashed in with electrifying beats. But onto the middle lane though, they're trying to work on Hajizi. So still no deaths 3 minutes in for both teams.
That might be a signal though, with a lot more resources being used up here by Twisted. Maybe they're trying to get him started slowly. Oh, with the pressure bottom lane. Oh my goodness.
Outplays Oheb under his turret for the first kill of the game. Major highlight for Outplayed.
A literal outplay about outplay. It's one of those times.
Right. Even though Oheb was able to hold on his lane, you could not deny the fact that Outplayed and the multiple rotations towards the gold lane did impact his overall ability to just sustain everything. So he was forced to keep clearing the lanes despite having half HP. So now that was a clear advantage by Twisted Minds. How could they possibly translate this if they get the next or upcoming turtle? But now Team Liquid Philippines get to spot out the majority of the members from Twisted Minds.
Let's see, they're starting to form up here around the mid bush. Sanford looking for a pick off, but not really being given here by Twisted. They're trying to go for a wraparound.
Here's the Sanguine Claws. Escalera jumps in with a spatial migration. James very low, gets blasted down by Sanji, but MP the King still gets the turtle, plus a shutdown onto Carl Teasy. JP was able to walk away with the AOG, but Twisted Minds again answering TLPH.
What a crucial play by Haji there.
Wow. This is what we're talking about, right? If Twisted does lose out in a lot of stats, in team fighting, kill participation, they're a bit cut above the rest.
Yeah.
That's something that they excel in.
I mean, it was a great response from Team Liquid Philippines to immediately burst down James, who was within reach, since majority of the members of Twisted Minds are supposedly going to fight from a distance, since that's where they're safest from. But once Team Liquid Philippines used much of their resources onto James, unknowingly Hajizi was just waiting for the perfect timing to cast his passive and allow him to stun multiple members of Team Liquid Philippines who were already trying to run away using the feathered airstrike. So now let's see the response, because they seemingly want to take down the bottom lane.
Okay, four-man swing onto outplay. Here comes the fist break. A jump coming in from Escalera. AOG has a response for JP, and they shut down Sanji. JP might be the next to fall as the ultimate fighter answers back. He came from the top, and now he's here. That's a 2-kill swing once again for Twisted Minds.
And it felt like that was started off by TLPH, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what is happening here? Twisted Minds having a fun time in these duels.
It was, and it could have been a clear win for Team Liquid Philippines if only there was a bit more coordination in terms of how they laid out their skills. It did feel like the taunt alongside the fist crack combo was not entirely in sync, so we are unable to see that Team Liquid Philippines were able to layer out their skills and their damage accordingly. Now, that was taken advantage of by Twisted Minds, who is currently in the lead by almost or more than 1,000 gold.
If you're gonna look at the spider graph once again, you know this time why, but wait a minute! A jump from Escalera! Sending Sanji away. Sanji again was the major pickoff. Here comes the counter attack. AOG plus a fist break to catch outplayed. MP the King electrifying beats JP with a revitalize. Escalera once again with a jump, but gets caught out by JP. And Sanford as well. A good zone from Carl Teasy, forcing out Haji to recall.
That was good effort from Twisted Minds here.
Yeah.
But in the end, they were still repelled by TLPH.
I agree. Sanji doesn't seem to be having such a great time without the Purify in this scenario. And as much as he has some sort of mobility, once he casts his ultimate, he cannot escape from the threat of a spatial migration layered up with the Violet Requiem. So once that happens, or even just a brief stun coming in from Hajizi and the Curse of Crow would deal or allow Twisted Minds to burst him down, especially at this point where he's yet to stack up on damage. So Sanji needs to be extra careful. Fortunately for Team Liquid Philippines, they were the rest of the members were within the area, and gradually we're starting to see the ways they're able to respond to Twisted Minds. An unsuccessful play could be cancelled out by Sanford or even JP, so long as they time their skills and their resources really well.
That's right, the timing.
Good, actually, a good spot out from Carl TZ to Escalera. So Escalera was actually forced back by the young goat.
We're talking about timings here for TLPH. You're absolutely right. They do have so much power, but it relies so much on JP just getting a really good Avatar the Guardian. And as well as, you know, Sanford hitting the wall with the fist break.
Yeah.
And, of course, making sure that Outplayed and Hajizi have already used their Purifies, which is also so difficult to juggle in your mind.
Yeah. You also have to take into account that they cannot go too far away from their damage dealers, since you have to ensure that they will somehow be protected from the possibility of Twisted Minds finding or getting to find an opening towards the back line, or even just by their sheer range. But hold on, Escalera!
Hey, there's the miss from Escalera. Nobody home, but still able to cast out the Violent Requiem. Gonna get caught out by Oheb. That's a 1-for-1. Both roamers down.
It's painful to see, but you know what? They were trading it very well, so Twisted Minds still got something from that duel.
Yeah. So far, JP also prioritized the Athena's shield So they will hopefully have a little more means to survive. The potential gas away.
James all of a sudden! MP the King goes on to the back with electrifying beat. He's gonna bring down OHEB. The next target might be Carl Tazy. And the chase is on! MP with a slaughter! Gonna get a double kill right on the proper time because the Lord has just spawned and they might be able to take it away from TLPH.
That was perfect timing right there. They find OHEB, they also find Carl Teasy. That's the money combo.
Okay, here comes Sanford. A jump again once from Escalera. They're working on Sanji instead as they try and take down the Lord this time. That's 3 kills plus the Lord for Twisted Minds.
There seems to be no problem for Twisted Minds in terms of gaining access towards key targets of Team Liquid Philippines. And it is no easy task for Sanji anymore, nor even OHEB, to position themselves within the team fight. Oh, wait!
The King once again, Carl Teasy working on him, and he will shut him down again! 0-3-2 for the young GOAT, MP the King!
Oh my goodness, this guy does not want to stop. Guys, keep the party going, and he is having the time of his life.
This is somehow Team Liquid Philippines and their inability to actually establish the early game that they want being capitalized on by Twisted Minds as the team or as the lineup who has a lot more opportunities, who has a lot more angles to work with in terms of their combos and their hero synergies. We're starting to see that heavily impact Team Liquid Philippines and their ability to actually fight equally against Twisted Minds. So now they're forced to actually wait for their timings. An unusual scenario for the Cavalry, who usually just goes in for the Express, but this is inevitably where we are supposedly going to see them later on if they're really unable to carry out the early game, since they did decide to proceed with the Sicilian. So again, we're going back to the entire idea of timings, but for now it's Team Liquid Philippines who has to wait a little bit more.
So far, the James first, imagine Prio pick of the Phobius. It's paying off so far for Twisted Minds.
Feels like it is working out. MP the King again trying to find OHEB. I think that's his target in life right now, right? Just look for OHEB.
Target in life.
That's his only goal, and then once OHEB's done, look for Carl.
Yeah.
That's it, and it's working so far for Twisted. 4.5k on the gold lead.
Yeah, he's an anti-baby cakes duo.
Yeah.
He doesn't support the baby cakes.
That's right.
Honestly, if you're Twisted Minds here, if you're either JP or if you're either Sanford at this point, you'd have to find a way to balance getting out there looking for or getting information without necessarily compromising the position or your damage dealers, who shouldn't necessarily be up front too or too deep inside enemy territory. But this is a situation where Escalera and his presence is clearly making Team Liquid Philippines think twice about where they should be checking the areas, because one crucial spatial migration is already enough for Twisted Minds at this point to dish out the necessary damage.
And that's the biggest mind game for Twisted Minds. Is this spatial migration can literally come out of nowhere and can hit multiple targets. You need your Purify up. You need to make sure that you have a Purify, but the problem with TLPH is they have Flickers, they have Revitalize, but no Purifies in sight.
Yep.
Imagine if Twisted Minds manages to win a game against TLPH. Finally, the Guinevere has one win.
I mean, we're getting there. I think we're slowly getting there, but it is still going to be, it's a pretty small lead, but it is solid nonetheless.
Okay.
Oh, MP the King uses Electrifying Beats already. That is huge.
That might be a go signal for TLPH.
Should have been.
Yeah, should have been, but they're going to focus first on the objectives. Again, they lack information on where James and Escalera are hiding, so they're not going to risk it anymore. JP and Sanford still here by the Lord Pit. Sanguine Claws won't connect to James, and now we're going to have a Filipino standoff.
That is Filipino standoff.
Twisted Minds are dancing around the Lord so well. And if you're Team Liquid Philippines, you cannot afford to make a mistake of expending not even the Avatar Guard to hold on.
They're going to come in a lot onto JP, forced out to revitalize. Had Jeezy with a feather airstrike. They're going to bring him down. One member down right away. Sanford with a combo, but James was able to escape. Goes in with down. The ultimate fighter strikes back, but Sanji with the engage as well was able to bring down James, and now MP the King up against 3 with electrifying beats. Carl TZOM are safe here. Escalera still scouting out where the cavalry are, but I think this is a clean Lord take.
God.
Even Escalera jumps in to just zone out Sanji as MP the King and outplayed.
Haji.
Go for the Lord.
Wait, Haji, what? Oh!
Haji with a feather airstrike onto Carl TZ. Even stole away the purple buff.
Man, Twisted Minds, what did you guys have for breakfast? I want me some of that. That is, they're individually, they're playing insane, off the charts right now.
Every single one of them, especially James. I mean, he was able to flicker out against the Sanford combo, but he went back for the Infernal Pursuit to bring him down.
MP the King went into free people. He dived on the free people in a bush.
Yeah.
What the heck?
You know, there's a saying that when it comes to Twisted Minds, they play a lot better when they're up against Titans, against really good teams.
Yep, this is the first pick Phoveus for you, shown to us by Twisted Minds. But again, as we were just mentioning how Team Liquid Philippines could potentially start things up, they immediately go for the person who could ideally start things up, and that's JP. So now they have to be extra cautious, because if you do want to tack up the damage, you should ensure that you will not be in an accessible position for the spatial migration. So they can make use of this area where they're currently in. Unfortunately, they are going to be somewhat trapped for now for the upcoming defense, but this is something that they can definitely use to their advantage. There could be some sort of or hesitation from Twisted Minds to fully commit if there are still turrets standing, but there is going to be the conceal that's cancelled by JP.
You know what? It's fine to be trapped here in this scenario. Luckily, 90 seconds on the next Lord means it's not super scary yet for TLPH. We're starting to get there. And map control definitely on side of Twisted. TLPH are trying to push them out.
Yeah, and fortunately for Twisted Minds, they know that Sanji has a Cecilia in terms of clear wave, in terms of late game is really going to dominate. So they were fortunate enough that they were able to take down at least one inhibitor with that Lord. And it's actually opposite side of the Lord, so they can play around the fact that they have a huge map pressure over TLPH.
Yep, you saw the leaderboards. MP the King is leading the damage department. He's just so much ahead of everyone else in the map, which resulted in Team Liquid Philippines having to opt for the Athena Shield immediately for JP, and Sanford eventually also securing it as his third item. But what really matters the most here is that they should really limit the movements from Twisted Minds from this point onwards, because MP the King has been freely able to look for the targets consistently whenever there is a team fight that happens across the map, and we could probably attribute it to the lack of crowd control, clear crowd control from Team Liquid Philippines. They're somewhat skill shot based, if you would say.
True.
And so a very high mobility hero such as the Joy, once you're unable to capture him, that'll eventually result in a waste of resources, crucial resources for Team Liquid Philippines.
I mean, even the Badang, right? If you hit the fist break, Escalera can spatial migration outplayed in Hajizi, they have Purifies, and James can just jump. And you know,
literally jump.
Yeah, good luck with catching a Joy. So essentially, the job is doubly difficult for JP and Sanford in this game, since you're right, these are skill shot, crowd controls, and their ultimates.
Yeah, and you also have to think about those heroes, those ranged heroes from Twisted Minds who are also really dishing out the damage. Outplayed and Hajizi are the ones I'm talking about, but they might just be the ones to find them first. JP's already half HP.
Ah, that hurts. That's going to be a reset, though.
Evolved Lord up for grabs,
It's
and
an Evolved Lord.
on the top lane, Minions are slowly pushing in for Twisted Minds. They know that JP isn't in the picture this time. They might go for the burst of this Lord, because the Minions are just pushing in onto the top lane. Eventually, if OM shows himself, Twisted Minds might just literally get this Lord.
Okay.
We're going to have to rush it.
It's just Sam for now.
Reset again.
Oh,
Yeah. Let's see, because Escalera, they're yet to see where Escalera
it's go
actually
time.
is.
Escalera from the back. with a beautiful combo. Here comes Outplayed though. Plus Chase with the Infernal Pursuit. They managed to bring down Kaltizi and JP. MP the King going for it, but there was the wall. And now Minions onto the top lane. They're trying to go for the Lord this time. They want to do this by the book. And Twisted Minds, amazing execution.
Yeah.
Now with that 3v5, they secure that Lord. It does feel like the victory is within their grasp. 30 seconds on the clock. I think Twisted, they can kind of force this.
Yeah, that was just such a quick decision made by them once they spotted Oheb up top. Oh, look at Outplayed even, using the Zaman Force all alone. But even with that, there's just too much damage right now from Twisted Minds. Team Liquid Philippines, oh wait!
Oh!
Okay.
Escalera.
Escalera Mazadi popped. Didn't connect with the Sanguine Claws. Hajizi already used the Feathered Airstrike. And now they're just waiting for the Lord to march in. Kaltizi and JP will respawn, so they can defend with 5 members.
Sicilian reminding us how good this mage is on the defense and a counter siege. So it's going to take more than that to break through TLPH, at least for now. Here comes Lord on top.
Look at the angles from Escalera. He's going to go for it for the conceal.
Okay, we're going to wait for the jump coming in from Escalera already. Commit! Plus the flicker! Gonna connect onto the back! Captain's Oheb! Still the Lord is there. MP King working on the back line with electrifying beats. Immortality popped. He stays alive. James, the ultimate fighter, working on Kaltizi. Sanford with a delay. They managed to get MP the King and Escalera, but a wipeout almost. Sanford is the only one left, and Twisted Minds twist the game to their favor.
Looks like we got the plot twist that we were all looking for. Despite all odds, despite the stats, it is going to be Twisted Minds with a 1-0 victory against Team Liquid.
Clearly the Guinevere redemption game that we were all asking for.
Finally!